Today we're going to talk about seaweed. Seaweed is one of those mysterious foods that we're not quite sure what to do with, but some of us know that it's very good for you, right? One of the reasons that seaweed is so wonderful for you is that it contains a lot of minerals. Now, we've talked before now about minerals and how wonderful they are for replenishing our energy levels. The key about seaweed is that it contains specific minerals that are very important for beauty. So your skin, your hair, your nails, that wonderful glow. So let's talk a little bit about what do you do with these packages, how do you get them, and how would you get that in your food, on your table, so that your family would be eating it. The first and most common form of seaweed is nori. And nori is this flat leaf here, and we find it wrapped up in sushi a lot. Now, so you could make sushi at home. The other great way to use nori is, and one of my favorite ways is I heat it over an open flame. So over the fire, or if you have an electric stove, you can heat it over that heat. And what it does is it takes all the liquid and the humidity out of it. And after there's no humidity, you can literally crumble it up into almost like pepper, like ground pepper. So I love scrambled eggs with nori. It's delicious, a really great way, easy way of getting it in. You can also take nori and you can make little chip-type snacks out of it. So this one particularly you can put on top of a sandwich. Now nori, all seaweeds, they absorb moisture. So if you put those on top of a turkey sandwich, it would become like a little bit like lettuce. So it's also another great way of sticking it in. Seaweed itself is a little salty, so it naturally salts your food. And this is one of the methods. Now, there are about 80 different varieties of seaweed. And in America, we use and can generally find at most places 8 different kinds. All of them are dried. So you'll see they're all in a bag. They're all dried. I'll show you a few kinds. We have kombu, dulse, arame, nori. There's also wakame, which is one of the popular ones. Now, each of them has a different flavor, palette, also different uses. So for example, kombu, which is this long strip here, is really wonderful in soups or making stock. So you can throw one of these in, it literally fans out. So imagine this, kind of like, you remember those little sponges when you were a kid? You put them in the bathtub and they turn into a dinosaur or turtle? Kind of like this. So they get to be a really large size. Now, a chicken stock or a soup stock, you can put this right in. It takes all those minerals and puts it right into your food. So it's a great way with soups to use the kombu. An arame, which is it's actually really good for balancing women's hormones. And arame is one of the stronger flavors of seaweed, and it's very delicious. I find that arame next to eggs is wonderful for breakfast in the morning. And the wonderful thing about seaweed is that it's very easy to prepare. So with most seaweeds, the first step you do is you take some water, you pour it over the arame or the wakame or any of these seaweeds. And what you'll find is that it'll begin coming back to life as if it's going back into the ocean. Okay? Now, after 5 minutes, you then can take out the seaweed and use it for whatever you're cooking with. And it comes back to its larger size. With arame, you could use a little bit, if it's too strong of a flavor, you could use a little bit of carrots in there, a little bit of burdock root. It's absolutely fantastic. And another very common, useful type of seaweed is called dulse. Now dulse and kelp have the highest amounts of iodine of all seaweed. And remember I said that iodine helps to get that metabolic center, your thyroid, working really well. So it's very great for increasing the metabolism and having your body effectively losing weight. But dulse, you can see it kind of looks like pepper flakes. So dulse is great on top of stir fries. It looks like pepper, gives it a little bit of a salty flavor. You could use it in soups. You could use it inside of your salad dressing. It's a great garnish. And this is one of my favorites as it's extremely versatile. So you may want to try that one out. And you've already seen this in a previous video, but the kelp, this is a seaweed that's in a shaker form. So you can carry it in your purse, you can take it with you, lots of different ways that you can get in this seaweed. Now, my all-time favorite seaweed recipe is something called the Easy Breezy Seaweed Salad. And what you do with that is you take wakame, which is in a bag, you put it into a bowl of water, soak it, drain the water off, and then you add the dressing. And the dressing is a combination of tamari sauce, agave nectar, and sesame oil. It's delicious. It's got all the richness, saltiness, and sweet, perfect blend. Add a little bit of sesame seeds on top, and it is great for the entire week. You can have a little bit of seaweed salad on the side. You'd be surprised. It is quite delicious. Sea vegetables are an underused and very abundant category. They replace minerals that we need for our hair, skin, nails, and give us vital energy. So go out, try some, be adventurous, and see what you think.